Okay, let's be honest. If you're watching this show, you're probably wondering, how the hell is this race tied? When Trump says things like, Hitler did some good things, migrants are eating cats and dogs, and maybe we should have a purge-style day of violence. It's hard not to wonder, who buys this? Who agrees with this? But there are those people out there. And frankly, no one is better at exposing just how fervent some of Trump's supporters are, no matter how outrageous he gets, no matter what he says, than The Daily Show's Jordan Klepper. Well, Jordan has a new special airing tomorrow night, and we've got a sneak peek for you.
Yes, the government is all powerful, but also not powerful enough, which is why Trump recently called for police to have a little purge to deal with rising crime.
One rough hour, and I mean real rough, and it will end immediately.
You support a cop purge?
I actually do.
Yeah?
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Hey, litterbugs.
Yeah.
That's the first one I'm getting on Cop Purge Day.
Okay.
Litterbugs.
Joining me now is comedian Jordan Klepper. His new special airs tomorrow night on Comedy Central. It's called The Daily Show Presents Jordan Klepper Fingers the Pulse. Rally together. Okay, Jordan, we have talked about this before. I love your clips of talk. I don't even know how they don't know who you are. Maybe they do know who you are. But you've been going to these Trump rallies for 8 years now. We're just 9 days out from an election. How have these rallies changed? How have they stayed the same?
Well, I will say part of the conceit of this special was that we wanted to get new people in who hadn't been to a rally before and see if I was seeing things differently than they were. And quite frankly, what we noticed is there's less of an energy there. There's not as many people showing up. It feels tired. There's definitely MAGA folks who are going around the loop and have been there 1,000 times. I met Edward, hung out with him, has been there 93 times. He's still going to every single frickin' rally. But it feels like the circus has been around to your town many, many times, and not everybody's showing up for this last go-round.
That's interesting. You do hear that, but you've been to a lot of them, 93 rallies. Good Lord. Okay, we're going to play another clip from the special. This is a particularly good one.
The Democrats are controlling the weather?
The government.
So if Trump gets in office, he'll have control over the weather.
Well, they will pass on the torch, I assume.
So the weather control is more of a machine, less of like a spell.
It can detour things from happening.
So watching that, I mean, it's obviously a conspiracy theory, but you've talked to so many of these people. You're just presenting them with basic questions. Is there ever a conspiracy theory that you found where people don't buy it? Or is it basically this trend of, as Trump says something, people who are the MAGA faithful are going to repeat it even if it doesn't entirely make sense?
Yeah, I think Trump is the pace car for misinformation. And if he says it, people are trying to catch up. Part of the fun of this, we brought Thomas Lennon along, and he came along saying wilder things than even Trump did, and people matched it. I think in the liberal elites here on the East Coast are often wondering, how can these people believe this? Is there any new piece of information that's going to change somebody's mind? And quite frankly, the answer is no. For the MAGA faithful, they could replace their Make America Great hats and just have a hat that says, I know and I don't care. That's what we're seeing. People understand the information, or at least they're choosing not to engage with it, and then they're just loving this guy. They don't care what the new information, the new crazy wild thing out there is. They support him. He's part of who their identity is. They're voting November 5th Trump all the way.
One of your goals, obviously, of a special like this is to make people laugh. You're obviously very good at it. But we're very close to the election. What do you hope people watching get out of it? Is there something beyond laughter?
I hope I think there's catharsis in laughing.
Yes, that's true.
I think there's a little bit of hope in this. At the end of this special, I met up with somebody who I've seen at a bunch of Trump rallies who thought Kamala events were a farce. Most people in the MAGA bubble, they really truly believe that there is no energy on the other side. And he was willing to come with me to a Kamala Harris event and see these paid actors in action. And after the end of it, he didn't change his mind, but he was open to the fact that there is another side. There are people who are passionate about ideas that he's not passionate about. And I think if you take one thing away from it, understand that you can still have these conversations. An America that I believe in, that I hope still exists after this next election, is one where you can share a laugh with somebody else you don't exactly believe in, but who is open to new experiences. At least we got a little bit of that hope at the end of this special.
We all need a little hope to dose down the anxiety. Jordan Klepper, I can't wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining me.